Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, whenever you are watching this. Welcome to our first episode of Curtain Call. My name is Paula Love Clark, who is your host, and the producer is Moinul, Hossain, Mukul. Thank you very much for joining us. So what is Curtain Call? Well, it's a new podcast and it's celebrating achievement, be it a new book, a new film, a new piece of art, album, a business, a startup, a new venture, or even a new idea. We welcome and encourage your successes. Tonight, because it's the first ever show, we thought we'd kind of experiment. And because I happened to become a double author during lockdown, which is quite amazing, because before that, I wasn't writing. I was a makeup artist and I worked in events, doing red carpets, etc. And of course, lockdown came and stuffed it under a little carpet. So I put my hand to writing books, and within 1 month, I got 2 books published. So I'll show you. The first one was an Ode to Woman, which is a poetry book by Paula Love Clark, and it's an anthology of poems dedicated to the art of being a woman. And the other one is it's a self-help book called The 7 Traits of a Highly Successful Single Parent. And it's a book of tools. It's a book of tools to help you get back on your feet when life has thrown you just too many lemons, basically. So both are available on Amazon, and we will put the links on because I know you'll all be desperate to get your hands on a copy. I hope so, because it is a book launch after all. So I wanted to kind of give a flavour to this evening, and we have 5 guests, and we gave them a topic, and it's called So You Want to Be an Author. And we thought it was a really good idea if we brought 5 guests on and talked about the processes of becoming an author. So our very first guest I would like to introduce is Sabrina Ben Selmy. Sabrina, are you there? Hello? Can we hear you? Oh, can't hear you at the moment, Sabrina.
Sorry, I'm here now. Congratulations.
No, that's okay. I have to say that you are the most accomplished woman I think I've ever met. Not only are you an amazing mum of 5, which, to be honest, is astounding in itself, being a mum of 3, but you've earned the Mother of the Year award. You're an author, a public speaker, a coach, a mentor, an entrepreneur, and 5 of your children, bearing in mind you've only got 5, are all published authors. I just think it's amazing. So my question to you is, how did you do it? What was your mindset? What was your focus, and how did you do it?
So how did I become an author, or how did I raise 5 kids that were authors?
The whole process, really. What made, because it's not easy becoming an author, but it's not easy having a mindset to become an author. So both, really. What made you want to go down the route and then encourage your children to do the same?
Lovely. Well, thank you. I think it's an excellent question. So I started with why. That is my short answer, is that I had a why that was so much bigger than me, that drove me every single second of the day, every hour, every single day, every week, every year. So I started with why. I started to think about, what is it that I'm handing down to my children as an inheritance? I started to think about, like, what does parenting mean to me? So when I became an author, I started to invite myself back into my life, because a lot of women agree that as women, we tend to be everything to everyone, but we don't know who we are to ourselves. So I went on this journey of self-discovery. And what I found that was really amazing is that I would bring my kids along with me, and I would kind of bribe them and say, could you just let mommy learn? I'll give you some sweets, colouring books, and so on and so forth. But they started to shift before my very eyes. They started to learn things a lot quicker than I did. And for me, that was so eye-opening. So it started off being a story about and children started to fire off individually, and they started to mentor me. They were one of my first mentors, and they would coach me with regards to what I could improve, where I was going right. And it was such a wondrous journey. And again, I say that now looking back, but at the time, it was very scary. Becoming an author, some people, it takes them between 3 to 10 years. So if you've done it, it's absolutely astonishing. I take my hat to you and I salute you. So like I said, it always starts with why. And I started to question my children, like, but what's our family vision? Where are we going? How can we go there together? Because I don't know about you, but I know there was a lot of to and fro early years of parenting. Like, I want to do this and I want to do that. It was like, how can we come up with a unified goal? And we can both go there together as a powerful force. So we started to have family meetings. We came up with a family anthem. I started to integrate mentors and business partners. Philip is actually one of my son's business partners. They run workshops together with Mouse, and Philip is all, exchanged. And he introduced me to Laboshi, who published their books. So it was really about being open to what is the vision that I want to have, because you're going to have those days when you don't want to get out of bed. But if you've got your why, that's what's going to catapult you. And one thing that I think really worked for us as a family is that once you find your why, you surrender to the process, okay? I think that is absolute key and crucial to making success. Why? Because sometimes it's a case of, I want it to show up like this, but sometimes our dreams are so small and what we can manifest can be huge, gigantic, outside of our wildest dreams. And just to give you an idea, my youngest son, who's 7, has become the youngest ever STEM ambassador for Brunel University. My 11-year-old son is the youngest ever ambassador for a huge water-to-go company. Yasmin's just published her 4th book, I lose count, and it's been endorsed by Marie Diamond. Trey Sean has been recognized as one of the smartest children in 2017, and Lachey works with the Korean Culture Center. But we've just been having fun learning. I think as children and families, they have so much gifts. If we allow them to just be immersed and creative, and we listen to them, parents listen, because they have so much to teach you. But also us as adults, we have to allow our inner child to come out and play. Don't be so rigid. The doorbell goes, you go to the postman and say, well, I'm expecting a package, it's going to be red and it's going to be this. What happens if the packaging's changed? What happens if it turns up gold? You shut the door and say it's not for me. Sometimes what we wish for is so much greater when it's delivered. So that's
I love that. I love the why. So if you had to condense what your why is, what would you say it is?
So my why was, I didn't hear what you said, Paula, the last bit.
So if you had to condense what your why is, what is it, and has it changed?
So it's changed ever so slightly. I would say it's fine-tuned over the years, because it was very broad, but now it's more specific. So we want to transform the trajectory of children's lives for generations to come. So we, as a family, we want to stand for what can be possible when you know, what can be possible when I identify that you're a part of my family, you're a unique piece to the puzzle, and you add value. It doesn't matter what you think, it looks like or doesn't look like, because sometimes we have this negativity to compare. Oh, I only do this. Yes. If we really identify what we bring to the table, it transforms everything. So my why hasn't changed. It's just become more and more fine-tuned over the years. And it's absolutely wondrous that people talk about miracles. When you surrender to the process, every single day is a miracle.
I love that. Thank you so much, Sabrina. You're amazing. I wish I had you in my house, honestly. I'd love to have you in my house. So we're going to bring in Philip Chan, who I know you mentioned was one of your mentors. And Philip, are you there? Yeah, you're an amazing man, Philip Chan. We all want to.
Well, good evening, Paul, and good evening, Sabrina. Thank you for having me, and really fantastic to have you on your first show as well. So I'm very honoured, and for congratulations on your 2 books within the space of less than 1 month or apart. So that's an amazing achievement by itself.
Thank you very much. But not as amazing as you being called the 10-second maths genius, and also you're a maths expert. Can you explain a little bit about that? Because you're also a 10-book author, and I think probably you're affiliated to quite a few more books than that, because you've got a few partners. Sabrina said that you work with her son Trey, who I think he's 15. Isn't that right? He's got his own podcast as well. So you co-author quite a few other books as well. And please just tell us what your mindset is, because that's so important when you become an author. You have to have the right mindset.
Well, I think first of all, it's important to get rid of the excuses. And I for a long, long time had lots of excuses. You know, I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm black, white, blue, green, or whatever. And also my English is not up to standard. You know, and there's so many excuses we have. But actually, the key thing is to get rid of it. Go after the goal. As Sabrina has already said, find out your why. When you find out your why, the how will come later on. So
Yes.
just as Sabrina, you know, her Fantastic Five, you know, and also I've got the youngest one here. He wrote that when he was actually age 4. Actually, he actually wrote that when he was age 3 and a bit, and actually when it's published, he was age 4. And this is his other daughter for her first book. Yeah, so they've done that when they're age 4 and I think 8 to 10. I can't remember exactly.
Amazing. Amazing.
Trayshawn and I did this book when he was age 13 2 years ago. It took us 5 days to write the book, and then I think Amazon tells us we went hit the #1 list in 2 hours 11 minutes.
Fantastic.
This is my granddaughter's 12-year-old, so she published the book. So first of all, you got the two extreme. You got the very youngest, age 4, Amir, and you got the dinosaur, which is me. You know, 274 years old. So
Right.
so we can forget about the age excuse. That we can throw that out. And also in terms of English is not my first language. You know, and I'm still learning to spell. You know, and I'm still sometimes have to get my own name wrong. You know, I spell it sometimes F-I, yeah, Philip. It's a PH. Yeah. So it's important that, you know, identify your dreams.
Yes.
Take the excuses. If you want to go after something, go after it. You know. So, and also, Sabrina has break all the mold. You know, she's just a single mother with 5 kids, no money. You know, I can't do it because I got no money. And Paula, you prove it yourself. You know, you found a way how to actually, you know, to produce your 2 books with no money, so to speak.
It's true.
You know, but that's another book. You can tell the people about how you managed to do that as well. Sometimes people ask me what I actually do. Well, in simplistic terms, I teach people to do what they don't do. So when they do what they don't do, then I don't. I'll say that again. I teach people.
Sounds like
I teach people to do what they don't do. So when they do what they don't do, then I don't. So the key thing is it's about working smart, not working hard. It's a lot of time, you know, we want to do something, but we don't know exactly how to go about it. So the first thing is find a good mentor and a coach.
Yes.
Because when you do that, it saves you time, money, frustration, and then you can channel your energy into where you want to go to get your goals done. And I think Sabrina would agree with me. You know, she and her family have found several fantastic coaches and mentors. Yeah, like Regan, and they actually have paved the way because they have the experience and they shortcut the know-hows, and then you just focus on your goals, what you want to achieve, and make it happen.
Thank you. And can I just clarify that Sabrina's married, not a single parent?
Yes.
Doesn't say that.
Sorry. Well, that's a senior moment.
That's okay. Can we bring Laboshi on now? Because Laboshi is actually the publisher that we've all used to publish our books. Laboshi Mayoran. Yeah. Is that Laboshi's book?
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Author as well. Juggle the struggle. Fantastic.
First of all, Paula, I want to say thank you so much. And I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. You've done it. So well done.
I know. Thank you. Only a dream since I was 15, but yeah. And so you're the co-founder with your husband and the MD of DVG Star Publishing. And there's my book. And you're amazing, actually, because I told you what I wanted and you came out with the most beautiful covers. You've got such a spot on team. I was so impressed. I think I've passed 5 people on to you already, 4 or 5 people. I've directed them to you, and I know that my son and I are going to write books together, and it's just fascinating. So, Laboshi, what would you say is the most difficult part about getting your book published?
Right. Okay. First of all, I just want to say, like, DVG Star Publishing, it was started off by my husband, Myron Sendamani. He was the actual main start off of this company, because the main reason why he set up DVG Star was to help our authors actually bring out that legacy for them. So the DVG actually stands for Dream, Vision, Goal. So in terms of publication, we wanted to be their vehicle to get them where they wanted to be. It was a dream for a lot of people to get their books out there, but it's just, they needed that push and they needed that little help to get them there. They have that potential. They have it within them. So you've seen, we've had Sabrina, her 5 amazing children who are fantastic. Philip Chan, I can't praise him enough. He is absolutely fantastic. So many books, and they've all hit Amazon bestsellers. So they've done so well. So the reason why we actually did DVG Star was to help our authors. So we're purely a vehicle to get them that credibility and visibility. Now, you know how you said a lot of people, the things they struggle with is actually getting pen to paper. So if they sit down and put their thoughts down onto paper, it can get them there. And like Philip mentioned, if you have a good mentor, then that's it. You have to have a good mentor. And I'm sure a lot of our authors would say Philip has been an absolute fantastic mentor. So get yourself a mentor and make sure you sit down, get pen to paper down. And even on our website, we've got a free guide as well. Get that structure done. So download that free guide and put that structure out there. And it's just a matter of putting pen to paper down. That's all it is.
And so how can somebody find that guide? What's your website?
So our website is www.dvgstar.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And how many authors do you think you've helped to publish their books along the way? I know it's a difficult question, but you may know.
We've helped over 100 authors now.
Wow.
I don't know the exact figure, but it's definitely over 100, and they've done amazingly well. Like with Philip Chan and Trey Sean hitting Amazon bestseller, and it's like amazing. They've done so well. And as you can see, a lot of our authors have gone on to do incredible things. And especially yourself, Paula, you've done incredibly well. I'm so proud of you. 2 books in a lockdown. That's amazing. So well done.
As a parent, can I just say, homeschooling's a nightmare. I am no teacher.
I feel you.
Yes, so hard. I mean, I could only do it because my ex-husband had the kids for 10 weeks, other than my oldest daughter. So I had some time, but I don't think I could have done. I couldn't have done that book in that time. I don't think I would have done it, but not within that time frame. So life happens.
You've written it so well. It's very well structured. And literally, people, you need to get that book, because I'm telling you, the content in there is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It will change you, definitely.
That's what I wanted. And talking of changing, David, can we bring you on? Thank you so much, Laboshi. You are such an
amazing. Thank you so much, Paula, for having me on your show. And all the best.
Thank you so much, David. Talking about, so David. Hello. I'd like you to introduce yourself. This is David P. Perlmutter, an author and a blogger, and I believe your books was made into a film. Am I right? Or is
going to be? Yeah, it's
going to be.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the invite, Paula. And again, congratulations on your 2 books. And I do believe they're on my blog. And with my blog, it's that I put 6 books on there.
You did. And you've got
hundreds of them.
Blog.
And it's got many. Pardon?
You've got a lot of people on your blog. Amazing. Congratulations for that.
Yeah, it's about over 250,000 page views and so forth.
That's amazing.
And one of the books, the first book I wrote, I've never written before, never had any training. I'm dyslexic, and I wrote the first book called One Place, One Time, I write true stories and crime fiction. I actually wrote it as a blog, and my friend and editor at the time said, this is too good for a blog, write a book. So I did write that book, and 6 months, pressed the Amazon button, and now we are the production company and I were so excited to announce the cast, but we can't yet. And we were going to start filming before, but now it's going to be either later on this year or by spring in Marbella. So it's really, really exciting. And since then, I really enjoy writing. Actually, I write in the first person.
Okay.
My true stories. My 4 books are true stories, so it is in the first person. But my crime fiction series, which I love, and it's really great if you enjoy the book that you're writing, is in the first person as well. And it feels like it's me, but thankfully it's not, because of course he does a hideous crime. But I enjoy the process, and it's really exciting. And also I write marketing books as well for the indie author.
I did see that. I do know that 4 of your Kindle books are in the top 10. That is pretty amazing to have 4 Kindle books in the top 10 of Amazon Kindle book on the Amazon Kindle list.
Yeah.
That is some accomplishment.
Thank you. It's in a category. I wish it was like the first 4 in the whole thing. Even in the category, it's an amazing. I'm very proud. But it's all about marketing as well. You get your book, and you know this. We've discussed it, and you need to. It's all about promoting and marketing as well. I mean, that is what's there is time, but it's worth it, obviously, to get your book out.
David, I have a question for you. So you're a new author like I am. What would you suggest would be, okay, we've got lockdown, but that's not going to stay. Soon the bookshops will be open, etc. What would you say was the best way to market your book as an unknown or new author?
Okay. Social media.
Briefly.
Well, it's very difficult to get. It's very difficult to get a book into bookshops unless you are. I mean, One Place, One Time is in some Waterstones, but that's down to the publishing company who I'm with. But it's down to me because I've really initiated it. They have so many. We're just a number to them, and unless you are a successful author at the moment or a celebrity, it's very difficult to get a publishing deal. So it's all about Amazon, and for me, Amazon, people may not Amazon, but to be honest with you, if you're looking to buy something, especially a book, you go to Amazon. It's the only place, and 85% of Kindle books are downloaded via Amazon.
Wow.
And what I would do, I've got a friend who's actually writing a book at the moment, and what I suggest to people is get it on prepaid, on pre-order on Amazon, get your book cover done, get the first chapter edited, even though the rest of the book isn't, and then you can put that first chapter and the book cover on your website or your blog to inspire people to look at it. They can click onto the Amazon pre-order page, and then you're building up a fan base. And when you're doing this, when you're organizing or getting your cover design, get 2 or 3 design, slightly different colors, slightly different font, and put that on social media and ask people which one do you prefer, and it gets people talking about your new book and your new cover. So it's all about
that. Yeah, was it Rene? Rene did it, didn't he? With his book.
Yeah.
Rene.
Yeah.
I won't say his name, but yeah, Rene did. I saw it on your page. Yeah, really good idea actually. You get other people interacting with you, and then they know that you're an upcoming author. It's a really good idea. Thank you so much.
Exactly, and it gets interested.
So before you leave, quick question, and then I'll bring Dr. Arthur Cassidy, our last guest, on. What are the next steps for you as an author?
Well, I've just I'm writing this crime fiction series. Right to Kill was the first book. That's on Amazon. I'm just finished Right to Live, which is the second one. That's with my editor. And there's the third in the trilogy, and that's the third and final one. I'm pushing that to be a TV series because I love it to be. I love the story. and dream, you might as well not do anything. Personally, that's how I look at it. And you're never too old. As Philip Chantic, you're never too old. As someone pointed out to me, he sent me a school photo 2 days ago, and he said, "Do you know what? In 14 years' time, we'll be 70." And we're not friends anymore. No, we are still. But you're never too old to do anything. And really, I'm looking forward to being on film location either this year or in spring. And 2021, 2020 is over. 2021 will be the year for everybody.
It will be, absolutely. Thank you so much, David. It was invaluable advice, and congratulations on all your success. We're going to bring Dr. Arthur Cassidy on now. Thank you so much so far, everyone. You've been amazing guests. Dr. Arthur Cassidy, are you there?
Congratulations to you on the new book. I'm sure all people are enthralled and looking forward to having our copies and getting through that and picking up all the hot tips.
Yeah, all the books, loads of my books came together. I just on the back of my book, this bit here, my lovely accreditation was done by Dr. Arthur Cassidy. So thank you very much. I'd like to tell everyone who you are, what you're about, and why you're on here tonight.
Right. The most important thing I want to say is that we have to believe in ourselves. Once someone has a concept of wanting to write a book, it's important really to have that degree of self-efficacy and self-belief so that we can overcome the fears and the obstacles, which are very irrational in most cases anyway. And the most important thing is that the more intense we focus on our self-belief, on our ability, on our confidence to write the book, to make sure it's eye-catching, that it is compelling and it's got a unique selling point, then we're on the way to what we call power motivation. And so that power motivation drives us, Paul, and it drives us into really trying to start and write something. Even we get the first page written, that comes after the plan. And I think we have to be very cautious by looking around and saying, okay, it's not just another book. It's something that people have struggled with maybe for a number of months. They have overcome all the obstacles, the rational fears that we have of writing. And many people and authors that I've been with and over the years as an academic, have said, what's the point in writing a book? The point is that we're going to inform people, we're going to share our knowledge with people and share some very precious, as you have done, Paula, very well in your book, and being able to share those hot tips and hacks, that people can overcome these struggles and obstacles and hurdles in their life. So that's very much about believing in your ability to try and get a vision, by the way, of the book as being a major success. Try and visualize your own success. And the more you focus intensely on driving yourself towards that goal, you will be there. So it's about self-belief.
Absolutely. And what about overcoming fears? Because I know as within your role as a psychologist, you have to face it. Don't mind overcoming fear. Did you hear that okay? Because we had a bit of feedback then. Have I lost you, Arthur?
Should be here.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
Sorry, Paul.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, now, yes. Okay.
You said, what about fears of writing a book? And it holds a lot of people back, fears and limiting beliefs like, oh, nobody's going to read my book. I'm not a good enough writer. Why should I publish a book? But the drive is in your heart. You've got the vision, but you have this big stumbling block of fear that you think nobody's ever going to pick up your book. How do you overcome that in your experience?
Overcome, first of all, by realizing that fears are learned behaviors. So, for example, we see our parents, maybe when we're young, who are screaming at a spider. So it's not the spider that's causing the fear, it's the screaming of the parent. And so whenever we hear about people or can't be bothered writing a book, it's not the writing, it's the person's attitude towards not wanting to do that. That's the problem. And so we reverse that and we challenge that thought and fear by saying, okay, I'm going to immerse myself in just doing what I fear. So once you immerse yourself in starting to write and put pen to paper, even as a rough draft, then you began to produce your book. So it's about that transfers across into self-belief and into self-confidence. So the way to overcome a fear is not to avoid it. Don't avoid writing the book, as you told me, Paula. Start writing something.
Yes.
Just jot down, scribble down notes, just believe that this is the foundation for a book. And so I meet so many people in my patients, who are afraid of doing things. And I say, look, have you ever started? No, we've avoided it. So the best way to overcome any fear is to remember that the fear comes from you. It comes from your interpretation of what you see and what you believe. So once you challenge your self-beliefs and your negativities to say, why do I have to be negative about this? The book will sell. I'm me. I've got something to offer here. And that self-belief comes from the author. It comes from the person who's saying, I can do this. I believe this is to be a bestseller. I've got something unique to sell. And that will really help you to remove the guilt of yourself and self-concept, and really transfer that into the productivity of a book. It works very well.
Thank you so much. We've actually run out of time. So thank you so much for the valuable pieces of advice. So just to clarify, everyone who's listening, so you want to be an author, okay? First of all, okay, know your why, know what you want, your subject, what you want to write about, take action and start. Have the right mindset that somebody's actually going to pick your book up. There are so many books in the bookshops and on the bookshelf. Why can't your book be there? Okay, that's what I told myself. Why can't your book be there? And you never know. You might start a blog maybe, or just start writing articles. If you want to write, please don't let anyone tell you can't. Just write. There are some books out there which could be pulled apart for not being literary geniuses. But do you know what? Some people buy them. People will buy your book. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Have the right mindset. If you want to be an author, go for it. Thank you to all my guests. There they all are. Thank you very much, Arthur, Philip, Sabrina.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so
much. And thank you to Moinul for producing this. We're very grateful.
Thank you, one.
And please join us next week. We have really special guests.
Thank you very much.
So thank you so much.
Huge congratulations.